Well, it is pretty much a monumental day.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's 2020, and we are here to review a new release.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Good Lord.
It's been a while.
What does the world come to? We've got movies coming out, and people are smiling, and you can't tell because they're all wearing masks, but people are smiling.
And they're smiling because there's still, or not still, but toilet paper is on the shelves again. So
yeah, that's how you know everything's going to be okay.
I guess.
Interestingly, my dentist phoned me.
Nice. When there's toilet paper back on the shelf.
Which was weird because it was a drunk dial. No, it wasn't. Wouldn't that'd be so great if your dentist just called you like completely pissed, just like, hey man,
Hey.
I just wanted to call you and tell you I love you. No, they called me and they're like, hey, you're due for a checkup and a cleaning, which I always hate because I'm like, and I don't know why. Is it just me? I can't be the only one who finds cleanings incredibly painful and just awful, and I hate it.
I don't.
When they're like picking away at your teeth with that hook.
Sure.
Do you have that experience?
Yeah, I totally appreciate what you're saying. I guess I wouldn't say I hate it. It's just more something that I think, just like other people, other adults, I sit there, I probably think about something else, partake in conversation to the best of your ability when someone has 6 instruments in your mouth, and you just get through it. And I don't anticipate it. I don't look forward to it. I'm not like saying, okay, my big events this year are No Time to Die coming out in a couple months and getting my teeth picked. But
I hate it. All right. So anyways, so I was chatting with them.
Nice.
And this is the beginning of September.
Cool.
Right now. So they're calling me, and I'm like, okay, so they're thinking October or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, okay, I'll book an appointment with you. Let's do this. February 2nd is my appointment.
Yeah, things are...
So as soon as they could get me in.
Things are definitely backlogged because of COVID.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I have an opening on February 2nd. And I was like, okay. And she's like, would you like to take that date? And I said, well, it sounds like I maybe should. Like, you're calling me halfway through the year saying, hey, do you want to come see us in the first quarter of next year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things are slim pickings.
So that's just that's a public service announcement. You should, if your dentist has not phoned you, you should probably phone your dentist, because it sounds like things are backed up like a kid who got into a block of cheese and went through it like like the cheese apocalypse was coming.
And if nothing else, it's never a bad idea to call your dentist. Ask them how they're doing.
Yeah. Say,
hey, how are you?
Yeah. I am curious to see, like, I don't know. Since COVID, it'll be the first. It'll be the first place I go where someone's going to be playing with my saliva. Like, that seems. It's a particularly interesting thing given COVID.
Yeah.
Right? That someone will be in your mouth. Obviously, I won't be wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll put me in one of those, like, when they're like incubating the baby that was born too soon, and there's like the thing you like reach through with the gloves. Maybe I'll be in one of those.
You won't be.
That would be cool.
I've got some details. I know someone who just went to the dentist, and that's not how it goes down, sadly.
Oh, well, different dentists.
Oh, that's true.
It could happen.
If you go to a different dentist, I can't.
Hope.
Yeah, maybe they do that.
Yeah, I'll take pictures.
But getting back to the point, we are reviewing a new film.
Yeah,
and
we are.
Like a dentist, we are going to take that film and we're going to take instruments and we're going to bite the plaque off of it. We're going to scrape it off. We're going to go into the details of this film, and we're going to put some polish on it. We're going to put some fluoride on it, and we're going to do everything that you need to know about this film. And this analogy is just off the top of my head. It's not very good, But
And then we're going to use a little tiny vacuum to
Yes.
suck up the rest of the spit and a little bit of
Yes.
blood
yeah,
that somehow,
and we're going to give you a toothbrush and say, "See you in 9 months, kid."
and some sugar-free gum.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, as we talked about, we're reviewing a new film. It's the 2020 Disney live-action Mulan.
Mulan.
Yeah. Should we get into it?
That's I've been waiting all day. I've been waiting all week to say this.
Okay.
But yeah, let's get down to business.
Oh, there it is. There,
Right?
nice. Good job.
I've been sitting on that. I've been like, man, it's so corny, but it has to be done.
No, it had to be, and I am so pleased with that. Thank you.
So I want to preface this with a couple of things.
Okay.
I have not seen the animated one.
In full. I think you said
In
you've
full.
seen.
I've seen pieces. So
Sure.
Emily Mater, who's been on the show a dozen and a half times, made me sit down. She's like, sit. And so I did, because I'm a good boy.
Yep.
And she's like, we're going to watch Mulan. And I was like, are we though? And she was like, yes. And so she put it on. And then I was literally like, I think we started it late and I'd had a long day at work and I was dozing. I was falling asleep and I was like, guys, I got to go to bed. Like, I'm not really participating in this. So I've seen bits and pieces, but I don't remember any of it. This was like 2 years ago. And I don't really remember any of it. I was going into this film completely blind. What I knew of Mulan is that she's a Chinese girl.
Yep.
Who is not allowed to fight, but takes a sword and cuts her hair and goes and fights anyways.
Sure.
And much like Clark Kent and his glasses, a simple haircut has everyone fooled that this is no longer a woman.
Right.
But this is in fact
no, actually,
a dude.
A simple haircut and somewhat of a corset.
A wrap.
A wrap.
Yeah, she's wrapped herself so that her mammary glands are not giving her away as, as able to bear child. So, and that's it. That's all I knew. That's all I knew.
Did I?
So I went into the super
side note,
blind.
did I not recommend you to watch the cartoon? I'm almost sure I did.
I'm trying to think.
But of note. Maybe I did.
I have seen it. I did watch it. And I don't like it. I remember this now. Yeah, early on in our show, you had me.
Oh yeah, not recently.
Yeah, you had me watch it. Okay.
Yeah.
So I retract everything I've just said.
Okay.
I have seen it, and didn't care for it.
Fair enough.
I thought, yeah, holy shoot, man. I remember. Okay, I think Eddie Murphy's performance is fun.
Sure.
But aside from that, I just didn't care because I don't.
Yep.
That time period, that like the setting doesn't interest me at all.
Okay.
So yeah, I have seen the original, but I don't. I barely remember it because I wasn't into it. I probably didn't pay as much attention to it as I should.
Fair. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. So anyways, I was still going into this
pretty blind.
90% blind.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
The
point is still the same. Like you weren't coming in as a well-versed fan.
Right. And therefore I was not interested. Like I just didn't care. I was like, you know what, we should watch this. We should review it because we have a movie podcast. It's a new movie. It's a big movie.
How it's being released is a big deal.
How it's being released, which I want to talk a bunch about. But yeah, I went into this with pretty low excitement.
Sure. Yeah. That's fair.
So that's my preface.
That's your preface, and it's good to know. I'm going to crack this open with a wee bit of trivia. Wee bit. Of note, interesting that you referred to it as the original, and we've always come back to the concept of what originals are and what remakes are. Of note, it's quite interesting. The actual premise of the story is based on the Chinese folklore, The Ballad of Mulan. So it had stage adaptations dating back to as far as even 1917. There's been a lot of different film adaptations in various countries dating back to even 1927 all the way up to even 1998, the same year the cartoon came out. So there's been quite a few different versions of it, probably different budget levels, different notorieties, but interesting that there's been quite a few adaptations of Mulan. My question for you, and it's just one question this week, where do you think the primary location was for the shooting of this film? And I'll give you some choices.
Okay.
Okay. So, New Zealand is choice number 1. Washington is choice number 2, and by that I mean the Pacific Northwest Washington. The third option is China, and the fourth option, Vietnam.
I think it's either the first two.
Okay.
I don't think it's China, because if it's China, then this is a weird question.
Maybe it's a leading question.
It could be. And then I don't think it's Vietnam, just because, I don't know, it seems too similar geographically to China.
Right. Why not just go all the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
fine. New Zealand has mountains. And there's mountains in this film. But I think, like, there were several shots in this film where I thought to myself, this is wonderful green screen. This is incredible CGI.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm going to go with Washington.
Cool. Which also has mountains.
It's a strange option because I don't know of, like, it's not like I'm thinking to myself, wow, yeah, a shit ton of films are shot in Washington. Of course it's Washington. Like, I don't know of films being shot in Washington.
That's true.
But it's the most impressive answer, and so that's the one I'm going with.
Valid way to steer your way to your answer. I am always fascinated by your deductions. The answer was, move aside, Frodo, we're coming for the ring. The answer was the primary amount and volume of shooting was in New Zealand, with a few scenes in mainland China. So New Zealand was the main answer.
And New Zealand was my second.
It was.
I was thinking it's definitely not Vietnam. Vietnam was my last pick.
Yes, for sure.
China was my third.
Yep.
New Zealand was my second. And Washington was my first. But okay, yeah. And ultimately, I think it's the answer that makes the most sense, because a lot of films are shot in New Zealand. Again, I don't know of any films being shot in Washington.
Sure.
I don't know why you would. Especially because Washington is so, like, if it's Washington, then you're doing everything green screen and soundstage, in which case you're so close to Vancouver, where a lot of films are shot because there's financial incentives and all that stuff to come shoot in Canada. So Washington, I guess, also doesn't make any sense.
Not in that context. No.
Hop the border and come film drenched in maple syrup. Like, it just makes more economical sense.
Sure.
Okay, that's good trivia.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you, sir. I did nothing.
Oh, you partook, and that's everything to me.
Right. So there's a lot. Okay, so now that I'm remembering the original, there's a lot of differences between this. Sorry, not the original. The 1998 Disney one.
Yeah.
There's some huge differences.
Drastic
huge differences.
And actually, to give context, because I forgot to give my background. I am definitely a believer, or I loved the cartoon. I've loved it for years, so there's some nostalgia definitely factoring into that. But even just watching it more recently as an adult, I just think it has a lot of merit, and it has legs to stand up on its own, not just the nostalgia of watching it. So I think it's a great film. But going into it, I was watching it as a film viewer, the 2021 I'm talking about now. So I'm not
Right.
I'm not going to go on a podcast here and talk about an hour of, well, this is how it was different and it should have been more like the cartoon. It should have been that. Like I will have an objective conversation. So I definitely had a horse in this race, but it wasn't influencing my opinion, I guess I want to say.
So the big differences that stick out to me.
Sure, yeah.
One is the exclusion of the character Mushu.
Yep. Yes.
Who is the dragon played by Eddie Murphy in the 1998 one.
Yep.
Cricket is present, but Cricket is been given a human role as opposed to the role of an actual cricket.
Mm-hmm.
There's no music. This is not a musical.
Yes.
There's a score, there's music, but there's no singing.
And there's some ties, there's a few, about 3 or 4 of the musical numbers from the cartoon have underlying tones in soundtrack form in this film. But yeah, no.
Yes, they've made some cameo music.
Yeah.
There's some musical cameos.
Yes.
Which I think are very tactfully done.
I would agree. Yeah.
And the other one, and this is not 100% my observation. This is something I've been reading just in headlines of articles, actually. I haven't even opened up and read any of these articles.
Sure.
There's a lot of, not backlash, there's a lot of people who are bent out of shape and are feeling like this deviates too far from the animated classic that they know, mostly because this film, the 1998 one has a lot of sort of Western culture that has been ingrained in it so that it's maybe more relatable to what its target audience was.
Right.
That's all been removed.
Yes. Yeah.
This is to my knowledge, I'll be the first to admit I'm fairly ignorant when it comes to Chinese culture.
Yep.
But my understanding is that culturally this is a very Chinese film.
Yeah, then I've also read similar things that was their intent with some of the differences you outlined. That was their intent.
Right. Yeah. Which I think is a beautiful thing. For 2 reasons. One is because that's the way it should be.
Sure.
And 2, with 3/4 of the world foolishly and incorrectly throwing hate and shame at China right now because of certain world leaders that are, provoking things.
Sure.
It's just such a phenomenal time, I think, to have a film come out that is going to be widely viewed and also celebrates Chinese culture.
That's fair.
So I think the timing's great. Coincidental timing, because obviously the film was being shot and was in production long before COVID happened.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But I think I just think it's fantastic timing to have a film that is so strongly rooted in, again, my understanding is Chinese culture.
Yeah. No, that is conceptually that is very cool, and it's a very interesting decision, and I'd say even a commendable decision that they made, for sure.
I think it's the right decision entirely, 100%.
Oh yeah.
So,
that being said,
what are your thoughts?
That being said, I'm in agreement with most of the things that you said in theory.
Okay.
As a standalone film, this wasn't very good.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't really enjoy what it was laying down as far as just a film viewing experience.
Okay.
And again, I can't comment specifically on the Chinese culture that it was trying to maybe honor a bit more than the anglicized kind of Americanized version that the 1998 was. So I'm going to veer away from those things.
Okay.
But
this this is interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing a lot of flack on the internet, specifically even on Facebook, my friends who are saying the same things. This is not a good movie.
Right. Yeah.
The audience score on Rotten Tomatoes is low 60s. Or maybe lower. I'm not even sure.
That might have changed, and obviously because it's so new, it's probably changing daily. When I viewed it, it was at 77, but I think it's come down.
Oh,
since
it's
then.
way down. Yeah, it's
is
definitely
it? Okay.
it's definitely below that. Yeah.
Okay.
And I went into it not thinking to myself, this is not my type of film. This is not the era that I'm interested in.
Yep.
This is not the, historically, there's not the part of the world that like I'm just not interested.
Right.
And saying all of that, I had a lot of fun. I thought this film was pretty damn good.
Really?
And so
Wow.
it surprises me.
Yeah.
And the person that I watched the film with, the movie ended and I turned it off and I turned to them and I said, well, and they said, I don't know.
Cool.
That was their answer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Which is kind of my interpretation of it is I don't like it, but I don't know why.
Right.
Was sort of the vibes I was getting.
Right.
And you know what? It's interesting because my appraisal of this is at the beginning, I was thinking, oh, I don't like the direction they're headed. Like the first 15 minutes, I was like, and I think that was just me trying to get my bearings and understand what was happening.
Sure.
Like when those dudes with the black horses show up and then all of a sudden they're like Spider-Manning their way up the walls, I'm like, okay, wait, what are the rules here? Like,
exactly. Yeah.
What is happening?
Sure.
And then I got over that real quick. And then I settled into what kind of what reality looks like in this film.
Yep.
We have flying phoenixes and we have, and it confused me a little bit because I was like, if we have all that shit, why leave out a character like Mushu? But
yeah.
But whatever. And I don't know. I don't regret paying to see this.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly wouldn't view it. I wouldn't, if I had to pay that money again to watch it a second time, I wouldn't do it.
Of course. Yeah. Yep.
And I don't need a physical copy of it.
No.
Would I watch it again to show it to someone? Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Would I watch it? Would I make a bowl of popcorn and say I'm craving Mulan? No,
Right.
if it's just for my own, if it's just for my own enjoyment, I may never watch the movie again.
Fair.
But I didn't dislike it. I enjoyed it and I found myself drawn in and caring a lot more than I thought I was going to, with the exception of, and maybe this is just the Mulan story, but I mean, it depends on how much creative liberty they wanted to take with this.
Sure.
I was totally disinterested in the villain's storyline.
Sure.
I didn't care about their scheme. I kind of didn't really fully always understand their motives, what they were trying to do, how they were trying to do it. To me, the conflict was not with them, but the conflict was an internal one with Mulan. It was Mulan versus culture, versus society, versus these rules, versus discrimination. That was the story that interested me.
Cool.
And so then we'd get into like some actiony stuff, and it was all like, these guys, and they're overthrowing the emperor and all this stuff, and I was like, it got a little Star Warsy for me. I don't know. I just thought I was like, I don't care about these guys. These guys are filler, and it's taking me away from the part of the story that I'm actually truly interested in.
Right.
But yeah, so that's I find your appraisal of it very interesting because it's the same as everyone else's.
Yeah.
Which I guess I don't find yours interesting. I find mine really interesting.
Ouch.
Well, no.
No,
In the
I know.
sense,
I know what you mean.
I find mine unique. I find,
for sure.
you're in line with what everyone else seems to be saying.
Yes. Yeah.
And me, who is perfectly poised to be in agreement,
Mm-hmm.
finds myself in a position where I'm ready to defend the film.
Right.
And that's weird to me.
Right. Yep.
So hit me with the stuff you don't like, my brother.
So I think just in kind of overarching terms, I feel that you laid down some stuff that I was picking up. Conceptually, let's veer away from an anglicized version of this, and let's do some more Chinese traditionalized, maybe authentic kind of themes or tones. And so there's certain things that you said that I'm conceptually, yeah, I hear you. That's good. And I think what I didn't like about this film is I think it had too many pots on the burners of a stove. There were too many things boiling at once. And conceptually, I think I like the idea of having villains who aren't one-dimensional. So we get some backstory on the two villains, the witch and the person who's recruited the witch. Depth is good. It makes things less one-dimensional. Conceptually, I like that concept. We eventually get a bit of a redemption with one of the villains. We also have an aspect of the Chi kind of explain to Mulan about, this is how she can channel her inner Chi and become a ninja and use her powers and all this kind of stuff. That conceptually, that's good. And obviously the underlying premise of this story, which is also another element that I'm all for, is just the premise of a woman overcoming a male oppressive society. And in this case, it's ancient Chinese society. That's very interesting. But I feel like there was just, the movie tried to bite off more than it could chew. Because I felt like it was just going in too many different directions. And all of these are in theory good. And all of these, if they're explored in theory, could be good. I just felt it was a little too multi-directional. It didn't really harmonize. Like there was no kind of continuity between these elements. And so maybe they just kind of got a little bit skimmed on the surface. So with the villains having dimensions to them, it wasn't to a degree that it really changed the needle for me. When the villain had a redemptive aspect to it, it just seemed kind of forced and a little... I was just kind of random. I just kind of raised an eyebrow. I'm like, wow, that's a real 180. With the Chi, again, it was something cool, but I thought it was really going to have a tying aspect or a really coming home moment with it. And I think they did, obviously, I think the one thing that they did hit on was the woman overcoming a male oppressive society. And so I don't think that was I think that of all the ones that I've listed, I think that one might have gone into the most depth and might have been handled enough. But
sure.
Yeah, I think
and you know what?
Yeah.
I agree, right? Like
okay.
The villains don't interest me at all.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, I don't care. I don't feel like that's the conflict here. I don't feel like that's the struggle.
Right.
Interestingly, the Chi the Chi they don't explain very much of. They kind of they kind of don't really explain to you what it is and how it works, which again is probably just my Western ignorance.
True.
Right?
True.
However, rooted in that Western ignorance, I enjoyed the Chi the same way that I enjoyed the Force in Star Wars before it was over-explained to us.
Yes. I swear, this film...
It's a mystical thing.
Yeah.
I don't need to know how it works. I'm wowed by it.
Yes.
It's impressive.
Yep.
It's the same way as when they used focus in The Matrix.
Yep. I don't need to know too much.
I don't really get how you're doing that, but it's really cool. Don't explain it to me. I don't need to know.
Yeah, I swear, if this film,
it's cool.
which is also owned by Disney, if this film had gone into like a Metachlorian-y explanation of Chi, I probably would have just turned the TV off and walked away.
Right.
Yeah. So I guess those would be the main story elements, and I think that's why it didn't really resonate with me.
Okay.
I've got a couple. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, talk to me about the visuals in this film. Talk to me about this film visually.
I feel like I'm so glad you brought that up, because visually is one aspect of this film that I actually, on my scale, I gave it full marks. It
is optically thrilling to watch.
So good. I loved it from the micro visuals of just the Mulan being prepared with, getting makeup on and costumes and all these vibrant colors. And there was even macro visuals that I loved, like just panning out from someone climbing palace steps to landscapes and visuals. I thought this film, whether it was CGI at times or not, I found it very pleasing visually.
Yeah.
And you
visually, you'd agree? It's just oh yeah. Even just the color tones that they use, which is all like, post-production color correction. It just it's so well designed, I feel like. It has vibrant colors. It has brooding darkness when it needs brooding darkness.
Right.
And it made me feel like, although I was watching live action, it made me feel like I was in a cartoon. It gave me the cartoon feeling. So I was watching live action, but because everything was so vibrant, I found myself going, I'm set up in a story where anything can happen because this is fictional. If that makes any sense. I'm having trouble. I'm not articulating what I'm feeling properly.
Yeah.
But I thought visually this is a stunning film.
Oh yeah. I would agree. Yeah. I'm really glad you brought that aspect up, for sure.
What else you got on your paper?
Yeah, two things. This one, again, this might be playing into, I appreciated the cartoon more, which was maybe not a very traditional Chinese thematic film. So maybe that kind of goes into this territory. So maybe there's a reason that my critique of this film is going to be maybe just not correct. Or maybe there's or not that it's not correct, but it's just an explanation of why this wasn't in the 2020 Mulan, for better or worse. But something that I feel with Mulan is just generally, both in this film and the 1998 film, she's a wet blanket, right? She's a wet blanket.
Mulan is?
Oh yeah, Mulan, big time wet blanket. Because, and I'm being silly here, but she's a very serious character. There's a lot of emotional underpinning going on, and she's struggling with a lot of challenges. So she's not someone that's you watch visually and it's an enlightening moment as far as like a cheerful, frothy viewing. And in the cartoon, we have Eddie Murphy's character who is balancing Mulan comedically. She kind of neutralizes these scenes. And there's Eddie Murphy's characters, there's Mulan's grandmother, there's a few different characters that really just kind of neutralize Mulan, that in this film there is no neutralizing. Like, it's very unitone, very, very serious with Mulan. And
yeah, there were some moments that made me laugh though.
There were.
I got such a kick out of, to me, one of the lightning highlights of the film is the fact that she didn't, and I didn't think of it either. Sure. She hadn't taken into account, I'm gonna go weeks without showering,
right? Because
it's a group shower ordeal,
right?
And obviously that's not in line with the secret that I'm keeping. And so I found that, I don't know, the fact that people are like, oh yeah, you're awesome, you're such a good honestly, dude, can you please go bathe? Like, you smell so bad,
right? Like,
I don't know, to me that was, I don't know, maybe not to the same, like there's definitely, I don't think there's comedic moments in this movie.
I think your point is valid. I just, for me, I don't think it's enough to move the needle to balance it out, to make it.
There wasn't enough levity for you.
Yes, but you're right. There are some scenes where there is some, I don't want to say balance because it doesn't balance it out, but there is some attempt, and that's fair. But for me, it's not enough to move the needle.
Okay.
And I do. My next point is just it's not grounded enough in reality, and I think to some degree, I think this is it's a bit of a shock when you first watch it, and I think then as you watch it, you have to just adapt and say this is the reality of the film. So I'm not going to say it's a fault to a degree, but it did bother me at first, and I think I just came to accept it. But there were, just like you said, the warriors like scaling walls, or like literally scaling down walls where, you know, gravity should just plummet them to their deaths.
Yeah.
And just because of this reality, I wasn't scared for the well-being of China. Like in the 1998 cartoon, and I'm not trying to just compare everything to the cartoon, but I am concerned for the well-being of China. For this one, just with all that was going on and not understanding what the reality was, like how big is this army? How big is this impending revenge scheme? I was just kind of more always just questioning what is possible here and just trying to get a pulse on the situation versus actually saying, wow, like China is in trouble here. The emperor is in trouble. And just not, I'm okay with films that are not based in reality, or at least the reality we know, but just when it's choreographed in a way that's just kind of corny. I think some of Mulan's gimmicks were quite corny, at least just her introductory gimmick where she's jumping off roof tiles and catching a 12-piece china set from falling. And from just her, in the cartoon, it was realistic, her facade, because she sleeps in a tent by herself, and that's plausible. In this film, she's unwrapping her corset in a communal tent. How she was not found out 3 minutes into the film, I don't know. So there's some things that I can get behind. Yeah, I need to adapt. This is a magical world where magic exists and these warriors can do crazy stuff. I need to adapt to that. But when it comes to like kind of a corniness to a choreography, which is really subjective, I know that's just my opinion, and even just a practicality aspect of if you're removing your corset with 20 men around you, how are you not found out? Some of those things, it's not just me not suspending my disbelief, it's just not very reasonable.
I did often think, not often, I thought to myself a couple of times, really? Nobody suspects?
Yeah.
Nobody, I thought that would have been a valid side plot, would have been if there was maybe one or two soldiers that had picked up on a couple of things that maybe just weren't quite kosher.
Right.
And, and, we're keeping, and she had to be extra careful because now they were like keeping a close eye on her.
Right.
But that didn't happen. Everyone drank the Kool-Aid.
Right. Yeah. They did.
So,
yeah.
Everyone, she full on Amanda Bynes to them. So
right.
they were like, yeah, man.
Good reference.
Thanks. I haven't seen that movie.
Pardon me?
She's the man?
So good.
I haven't seen it.
So good. Channing Tatum, Amanda Bynes. Roast up a bowl of popcorn and check it out sometime.
I don't, how do you make popcorn?
We'll talk about it. I've got a 12-step list of how to properly make popcorn.
I'm picturing like a mesh, almost like one of those bingo wheels, but it's made out of mesh, and it sits over like some kind of an element, and you like rotisserie style.
That's the only way to do it, man. It's the only way.
Cool.
Yeah. Anything else you want to hit on? Where do you want to take this?
I want to talk about I want to talk about the way the film was released.
Please. Yes.
So, I mean, obviously, the film was supposed to come out back in the spring.
Yes, March,
back in
April-ish.
March.
Yeah.
And then the events of the world happened.
Sure.
And the first place to shut down was China.
Mm-hmm.
And China is, next to the United States, China is the second largest market when it comes to films.
Sure.
And so if you want to have a successful film release, you don't release a film if it can't also open in China. You're asking for box office. It's box office suicide.
Sure.
So it got delayed. And then And then the rest of the world shut down.
Yeah.
And so we couldn't release that either. But, it reaches, and we've talked about this in the past on the show, it reaches a point, like, these studios don't just have this isn't just carrying around money for them.
No,
they borrow money to make these films.
It's a leveraged investment.
And so the second, like, you owe money with interest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the longer you have a film that's completed and sitting on the shelf, it's not just like you've spent your money on the film and you're just waiting to make it back.
Yeah.
This movie is costing you money because you have investments that you need to pay back.
Yeah.
And so something had to be done. We had to get this movie out. It's a big movie.
Yep.
Theaters in China opened, but there was a clause or a stipulation where China wouldn't play any movies that were longer than 2 hours because they wanted to minimize the amount of time that people sat in the theaters. Now, Mulan comes in at an hour and 55, so it would have
it
would have cleared that.
Yep.
But things still weren't looking good,
right?
Theater-wise for the rest of the world. It wasn't going to be able to get the release that it maybe deserved.
Sure.
So Disney decided, okay, well, we have all these people who have Disney Plus subscriptions. And so we could offer it via streaming, but we still have to make money on this.
Mm-hmm.
So we will offer it to people on Disney Plus for a premium charge. They have to, pay to rent it, essentially.
Right.
But because, the average cost of a movie ticket, at least here in Canada, is like $12. And so we can't just do it for $12 because, whereas a family of 4 would go to the theater and they would each pay $12, one household is going to rent it and they're all going to watch it and they're going to invite a couple of their friends as well. So we're losing huge return that way. So what they do is they release it for $30. And the $30 is on top of your Disney Plus subscription. Which is interesting because it essentially means that you are paying a Disney Plus subscription in order to have the ability to rent the film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyways, to make a long story short, the budget of the film was about $300 million.
It was a lot. It was not cheap.
It's an expensive film. And you want, it's $30 to rent it.
Yeah.
Which means, can you do this math with me?
Okay.
How many people do we need
right.
How many people do we need to buy this film? How many purchases at $30 do we need?
Right.
We need...
Okay, so we've got... You said 300 million?
300 million, and it's $30 a ticket.
$30. So we need, I believe...
We need 10 million.
10 million.
10 million people need to buy it.
Yeah. Interesting.
There's currently 60 million people have Disney Plus.
Okay. Yep.
Which is a lot of people.
It is a lot, yeah.
60 million people currently have it, which means
Yep.
Disney is asking people, in order for Disney to break even, not
Right.
make any money,
Yeah.
to break even, 1 in 6 people who have and are paying for a Disney Plus subscription need to pay an additional $30 to watch a film which in 3.5-4 months time
No.
is
Less.
going to be
three. They've announced December, early December, so 3 months.
So in 3 months time
Yeah.
is going to be free to you on Disney Plus.
Yep.
If you have a Disney Plus subscription.
Yep.
Will be free to you anyways.
Yeah.
You have to want to watch it so bad
Yeah.
that you're going to pay the $30 to watch it 3 months early.
Yeah. It's
going to be really interesting to see what the box office on this film is. It'll be really interesting to see what kind of money they make.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I tell you right now, and you and I have debated this in the past,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I stand by what I've said.
Sure.
They will not make as much money as they would have if they were able to release it in the theaters.
Sure.
They just won't.
Yep.
And so
they won't.
Yeah.
With historically, they won't. And anytime it's happened, there's no indication that anything would change from historical.
And I mean, there's just no way.
Yeah.
Right. Like this film last year, Disney was putting out. Like it seemed like every other time, every time Disney sneezed, they were popping out a $1 billion film.
Right. Yeah.
$1 billion. And we need 10 million people to buy it at $30 just to break even.
Yeah.
Just to break even.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people have to buy it at home for $30 when in 3 months they're going to be able to watch it for free?
Yeah,
How many people have to do that for us to hit $1 billion? It's not going to happen.
It's interesting.
It just isn't.
It's interesting the dynamics, right? Because I'm curious, we don't have all the information, but maybe there's projections and maybe they've had this meeting in a boardroom and like you alluded to, like every day that's passing, it's costing them money. And maybe where they see theater going for the foreseeable future, maybe they're at the point where they say, hey, we might not break even. Hey, we might even still lose money. But maybe it's just
we got to cut our losses.
Maybe it's at the point where their projections are saying we got to cut our losses and we project a slight increase of at-home streaming than theater viewing right now. And maybe they're saying, hey, we'll take our chances and the 1 in 10,000 chance that we rethink the system and it takes off with fire, it was worth it. And if not, we've at least cut our losses, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a dumpster fire, and I don't think
you're wrong.
And I think what makes it even more interesting is of the people who were maybe considering buying it. A bunch of those people were probably, I'm going to wait and hear what I'm going to wait and see what kind of buzz there is.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to let other people go before me and see what they say, if it's worth it.
Yeah.
And despite what I think of the film, the publicity it's getting is not going to...
Right.
If you were on the fence about buying it, what you're hearing on the internet right now is not going to persuade you to buy it.
True. Yeah.
It's not going to sway you in that direction.
Definitely not. I think if you...
So they're going to lose even more because of that.
Yeah, they're the only people, the lifers, the people who are going to see it regardless, they haven't changed their minds, but the fence sitters definitely will be influenced. They'll be swayed.
Yeah. So that's my take on it.
My 2 cents is I'm open to the concept of movie creating companies doing this. I'm not sure if they will ever find a method or a system where it's lucrative. They haven't yet, and I think you're right. I don't know if it's impossible, but I don't think they're not there yet for sure. I'm open to the idea, and I'm curious to see if there's ever a method that's mastered. Personally, I'm okay with spending $35 for a film on top of a subscription. But
if it's a film you really want to see.
For a film I really want to see, this film, I don't regret doing it, but I'm not reveling in spending the $35 I did to see it. I'm not saying, well, that was a $35 well spent, just because I personally didn't enjoy the movie. So for me, it wasn't the best. If it had been a movie that I would have been looking forward to, and say Tenet was being released, just because I'm personally really intrigued to see that film, I won't have a chance to see it in theaters, but I would have paid $35 just because my pre-existing curiosity would have led me to do so. So this film, the concept intrigues me of this at-home streaming, but just this film for me wasn't the gold standard of me wanting to spend $35.
Sure.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think it'll be interesting to see what happens as a result of this.
Yeah.
But I still say, like, we as a race of people,
Yep.
we adapt.
Sure.
We change.
Yep.
We're constantly innovating and finding new and better ways of doing things.
Sure.
And so you have to stop and really ponder the fact that our movie delivery method, when it comes to a movie comes out and we go to the theater and we sit down, we pay a ticket price and we sit and we watch it on a mass release in a movie theater, has not drastically changed in over 100 years. It's been over 100 years that we've been going to movie theaters to see movies.
Right.
And I think there's a very important reason why that's still the way we do it.
Fair enough.
Because it's the way that works. It's the most profitable. It's the most profitable way.
Yeah. I think
the movie's also missing out on, like what kickback from the extra $2 that you spend so that you've got Mulan on your drink cup, right?
Right.
And with the little plastic figurine on top and like all of these things.
Yeah.
Shit that you can't get when you're at home.
Yeah.
So if you don't have anything else written down there, then scale a 0 to 10 this bad boy for me.
Sure. Actually, I do have something else here. It's scale this bad boy. Oh, no, never mind. Yeah, I'll give you my score. Okay, here it is. As you know, my rating scale is how much effort I want to put into seeing a film. So the highest being I'd see it in theaters, or the second highest is I'd buy a DVD, VHS, Blu-ray. Third highest is I'd rent it. The fourth is I don't want to put much effort into it at all. I gave it a 2.7 out of 10, which falls into the lowest category. So, quote unquote,
sure does.
I guess if I'm at the cottage and there's no Wi-Fi and it's raining, I'd consider throwing that puppy in the VHS player and seeing what it's got.
Right. Do you have a supplier who's giving you modern releases on VHS?
I wish. Oh, using the tracking button and like fixing the fuzziness. Oh, just
I was clearing out some storage at work the other day.
Nice.
And I was like, what is that? And I flipped over this big heavy piece of equipment to figure out what the hell it was.
Sure.
It was a laser disc reader.
Oh, I never got into that, but I'm aware of it.
So I was throwing out a bunch of old tape decks and stuff like that. I was like, we don't need this. This is just clutter.
Yep.
I couldn't bring myself to throw out the laser disc.
Nice.
I was like,
nice.
This thing belongs in the Smithsonian.
Oh, yeah. Too good to throw out.
Yeah.
Cool. On Marshall's scale, it got a touch higher. I gave it either a 3 or a 4 out of 10, but still not a great score.
For all of the layman people, what is Marshall's scale?
Marshall is a man that is a friend of the show, will eventually be on the show. There's a few people we have on the waiting list we've need to get on the show, but he is a friend of the show, and I appreciate his movie grading scale. I think it's a lot of fun. Adds a bit of concreteness to the movie rating process, but I've got a hoot out of using it, and I now use it for most of my film critiquing.
Sure. Okay.
What would you?
What'd
you give it?
My scale is far more convoluted than Pete's. I rank mine based on how much I enjoyed it.
What?
On a scale of 0 to 10.
Have you lost your mind?
It's a mess. I gave this a 6.2. So
okay, yeah.
I don't need to own it. I would watch it again with someone if they're like, hey, I haven't seen it and I want to.
Sure.
Because I think it's fun to show films to people. I get a lot of joy out of that.
Yep.
Would I roast some popcorn and sit and watch it on my? No, I probably won't.
Inside joke to the friend of the show: roasting popcorn is the only way to have popcorn.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what that entails.
Will find out.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Did you watch anything this week?
I did not. For those who want to peek behind the curtain, we are recording 3 episodes tonight. So we've had a pretty heavy viewing schedule. So beyond the films that we had to watch, didn't have much time to watch anything else. And this week, there is nothing in the category of what we watched. Still have a film of yours that you've recommended that's on my back burner. Haven't got to it yet. The 2020 film Invisible Man. We'll get to it eventually.
I don't know why. I genuinely don't know why. But when you said take a peek behind the curtain, I thought shower curtain. Like that's what.
Oh no, I was definitely
head.
Talking Wizard of Oz curtain.
Okay, yeah. Well, and I get that.
Which is a shower curtain as a prop.
It is.
That's what they used as a prop, I'm sure.
Was it?
I have no idea.
Must have been.
Could have had to be.
Early 1900s. That's all they had back then. Was shower curtains.
No. What did you watch this week?
Not a damn thing.
Cool.
Not even Mulan or the other films that were. I'm just winging this.
You're a pro.
Yeah, I didn't watch anything other than the films we had to watch for the show. It was just a hectic week.
Yes.
But this coming weekend, between now and when we speak next, I have 2 separate movie nights planned.
Nice.
And both of them are iconic films.
Oh.
So I am looking forward to sharing that experience with you.
Interesting.
When we talk next.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
I would like to do a shout out.
Please.
There is a man named Jordan.
I'm sure there's a few.
Yeah.
Not just one.
2 or 3. 2 or 3.
Not just one.
At least. But he's going to be on the show next month.
Oh, cool.
And he is a horror expert. So he's going to come on the show and talk to us about all kinds of scary shit.
Specifically in film, not just in general. Like, hey, here's the new antibiotic-resistant organism we should all be worried about on shopping carts.
Yeah, exactly. So scary films. We're going to talk about, some horror stuff.
Cool.
Maybe the movie Cats again. Who knows?
Oh,
but things
scare me away.
Things that make you want to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Wrap this up in salami.
Absolutely. And
goat cheese.
Some mayo on top. Well, thank you for everyone for listening. If you haven't done so already, please follow the links below and follow us and officially subscribe to us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter if you haven't done so already. That's where we send out all our news of what's going on. And that's also where we do our bread and butter of our show, where we have votes that let the audience choose what we review next. So the only way you can have a vote is if you follow us and you're able to vote or like or comment on what film to watch. So if you haven't jumped on that wagon, do so. You can also check out our links below for our Patreon page and our merchandise page. So if you want to help support the show, we appreciate it. It helps pay the bills. And if you're not at that level of support, or even if you are, leave us a like or a comment on this episode page and let us know what you thought or any comments. We love hearing feedback from you cats.
I don't know where my mind is right now, but you said that's where we send out our news. And I just heard send out our nudes. And that's not...
That's somewhere else.
If you're clicking on those links looking for some skin, you're going to be disappointed.
News is in events.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Until next time. My name is...
not
Peter
Mushu.
Piper.
Not
Mushu. It's definitely not Mushu.
No.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good ending.
Yes.